Daniel.
And Norma.
Mark it, and let's talk about it. What does the phrase, I love you, mean to you? The phrase, I love you, justifies the involvement of you and the other person. It not only means that there's love for you, but it also means that the love for you is from me, creating emotional intimacy. By starting the phrase with I, you take ownership in it and affirm your feelings of love. There's no denying that there's an all-powerful meaning to love. It's a feeling and emotion that we naturally crave as social human beings. The phrase I love you justifies the involvement of you and the other person, like I said in the opening. It not only means that there is love for you, but it also means that the love for you is from me. The message you send esteems clear intent, and that it itself is also powerful. I love you also comes from a deep, genuine place in your heart. Finding this place in your heart does not come easy for most people. I heard a minister saying, love is to care about a person's wants, what they want. To love a person is to care about what they want. Okay? Know what they need. Now, want is one of the, below wants is desire. So you have needs, wants, desire. Needs you have to have or you're out, you're dying, air, water, food. Wants, warm house, electric paid, job, career, future, family, wants. Desires, all things you can live without. Bigger TV, nicer car, nicer house, less bills. Okay? You could live without the desires. But in love, you find what the person's desires are, and you fulfill the desire. Now, if you're looking at this into the desire side, I've recently learned where the word desire comes from. It is Greek. Now, a lot of people will exchange the word in multiple different types of love. What is the love style for a marriage relationship? Physical, intimate relationship.
Oh, you mean you're all-inclusive?
Eros.
Yeah, you're all-inclusive.
Right, and people have always taught, and I've always learned, that an Eros love is easy to remember because of what? It's close to erotic.
It's the Cupid arrow.
Yeah.
It's the Cupid arrow.
Yeah, but it's very close to erotic. So I've always
related. That's where the Cupid arrow came from, Eros.
Well, if we look at the word, in Greek, it actually means desire.
But just the word itself gives you the indication of the arrow, the Cupid shooting the arrow.
Sure.
But anyways, you realize that love is the strongest human emotion, that it trumps every other emotional state of man, because it's the one thing that fulfills everything, it completes everything, because it's non-greedy, it's
giving.
Selfless.
Love is nothing unless you give it away.
Love triumphs anger, hate, malice, envy.
Well, while you're here, you said it's the strongest emotion. Then what's the second strongest emotion?
What do you think it is, Mr.
Fear. Everything derives from either fear or love. Every action, every thought, even anger comes out of fear.
I don't know. I wouldn't say anger always.
What would you say the next strongest emotion is?
I wouldn't say anger always stems from fear, though.
No. It can stem from fear, just like hate stems from fear. But let's steer back to where we were just a moment ago. Love if we look at it in the light that we just learned, the Eros type of love that you have for your significant other is about being interested in their desires. Now, how do you know a person's desires? You have to get close to them. But you have to get close to them. You have to know them. You have to learn about them, what they like or dislike, or how they like it. All right? Now, all of a sudden, let me see. You know, a cactus and a willow tree, they require the exact same things to survive. Sun, nutrients, water, right?
Some require a little bit more than others.
But that's the point we're getting to. If you gave the cactus the amount of water the willow tree got, you'd die. If you gave the willow tree the amount of water the cactus, it would die. And you don't know that until you know that plant. Right?
Better study hard.
So if every person is different, right? If every snowflake, every grain of sand, every star is different, every human being is different, then to know the desire of the individual, you have to get to know them. Now, to love the person, wouldn't you literally have to love their desires? Or at least be interested in their desires? Okay. That was a sidebar that was dancing around in my head. Now, I love you. It should also come from a deep and genuine place in your heart, not just words. And as I was reviewing this and learning this, I learned there's a difference in a statement, I love you or love you. Huge difference. If a person just says love you, it's responsatory, it's separate, they're not involving themselves, they're not committed. The I part causes the commitment. Sometimes to find the place in your heart to say it from, it doesn't come easy. A lot of times it takes patience, compassion, understanding, courage. Sometimes just courage enough to dig deep enough in the heart to bring it out. When we do this, we not only learn more about the person, but we also find out more about ourselves as well. Even with these things, why do people think it's still hard to say I love you?
People have fear of love.
Why?
Because it's so strong, and it can take over and consume your thoughts and your life.
Where do fears come from, though?
They're your thoughts.
No.
Yes, it is your thought. Fear is part of your thought process.
It is, but where do they come from? The thought can't happen unless something is in there generating it. You can't have corn if you don't put corn seed in the ground. Fear has to be trained and taught. And then it's in your mind. Fear goes into the mind. It doesn't go to the body until the mind releases the chemicals that flood the body. So if a person is in fear of love, it's because somebody has used love in a weaponized form against them and caused them to be scared of it, hurt them in the past, and they don't want to feel the hurt again or the loss. I've known people who've lost significant others and didn't want to be in a relationship ever again in their entire life. They're fine just the way they are, and they're not interested in dating. Have you ever said I love you in the mirror?
I don't think so.
Why?
Not sure.
Would you find that difficult? Some people say that they can't say it in the mirror because saying I love you in the mirror shows you to be vulnerable. We live in a world where we're taught that vulnerability is a bad thing. We're told that we should always protect ourselves from love because the heartbreak that comes with it is unbearable. To be vulnerable with one another entails us to open up our heart. It also means that we have to open up to not just opportunities around us, but the hearts of other people as well. Bernie Brown, a research professor in the University of Houston, says, if we allow ourselves to be deeply vulnerable to the people around us, we can live a much happier life and become more fulfilled in our interactions with one another. If we let ourselves welcome and embrace the concept of vulnerability, we can reach a breakthrough in our relationships with others and begin to love with our fullest potential. Here's an interesting truth. So a lot of times when I'm doing research on stuff, I'll just type in the different versions of the Bible and find out how many times, this comment or this statement, the word love in the NIV, 686 times. In the ESV, 684, so only a difference of 2. But this was amazing. In KJV, 442. There's a difference of 244 from NIV to KJV.
Wow, that is substantial. I wouldn't have thought that.
I know. That just literally blew me away. Yeah.
That's odd.
Well, in 1 John 15:9, as the Father has loved me, so I love you. Abide in my love. That's Jesus saying this, right? To abide means to live, to reside, to have residence in. As the Father has loved me, I believe that Jesus lived with the Father inside of him his entire time he was here on the earth. The Holy Spirit. So I have loved you. Now abide in my love. That's a great example for us to take forward to others, especially when we're not going to be around them. This is an interesting passage here in John 21, and I've often thought about it, talked about it. It's when Jesus is talking to Peter. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" He said yes to him. He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." He said to him, "Feed my lambs." Verse 16. He said to him a second time, "Simon Peter, son of John, do you love me?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." He said, "Tend my sheep." Verse 17. He said to him a third time, "Simon Peter, son of John, do you love me?" Peter now was grieved. And because he said this to him a third time, "Do you love me?" He said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." He said to him, "Feed my sheep." The sheep that Jesus is referring to are not these wool-covered, four-legged creatures. He's talking about the lambs of God, in my understanding. And that's everybody around you. But the unique thing is, Jesus in this particular passage is feeding twice as much as he's tending. So, just curiously thinking, the body needs tending, the soul needs feeding, and the spirit needs feeding. If you love me, if you love me, feed my sheep. Be a mentor. Be a guide. Teach others. Love others. Love is an action word. Love is not a passive four-letter word. Not a weaponized word. If you keep love for just yourself, A, you're greedy, and B, it's really not love. Love is nothing until it's given away. When it's given away and there's nothing expected on the back end, that's real love. When it's given away for no reason at all, even to those who don't deserve it, that's agape love. Love guides, love directs, love protects. I asked a few people, what does I love you mean? And I received some interesting responses I'd like to share. One of my favorite was, I am less without you. I'll be patient with you. I'll be kind to you. I'll bear all things for you. Now these other ones here, I just took them right out of the scripture. I will believe all things from you. I will endure all things with you. This love I feel for you will never end. Like I said, it also contains security. We also find this in love. I want you in my life. If someone loves you, it means they want you in their life through everything. They feel that you make their world brighter and happier. Having you be with them is so much better than having life without you. I want to be in your life is also what it means. They don't just want you to make their life better. They want to improve yours too. To be there for you through both the good and the bad. to support and care for you. If someone loves you, they will want to make your life so much greater than it already is. It also can mean, I trust you. When someone says that they love you, they feel you are their support in the world. They can tell you anything without fear of judgment. As well as this, they don't feel that they will ever need to worry about you being dishonest with them. It also means I respect you. Respect is one of the most powerful signs of love and care. Saying I love you means that your partner respects you as a human being. They see that your needs and desires are valid and valuable. It will also mean your happiness is important to me. They will do everything that they can to ensure your happiness. Making sure that you are cared for will be their main mission in life. They will never want to see you sad or anxious or without. I am committed to you. So it also means I am committed to you. No one else means as much to them as you do now. Through the roller coaster of life, they will be committed to keeping your relationship strong. They believe that the connection that you both share is worth working towards and maintaining. It will also mean I believe in a future with you. When your partner looks to the future, they see you with them in every part of it, or don't they? Telling you that they love you means that they want to be with you, and you want to be with them for the rest of your life. They want to build this future together with you. When I say I love you, it means that I treasure your heart. It means that I value you. It means that I see a future with you. When I say I love you, it means that I trust you with my whole soul. It means that you being happy makes me happy. And it means that I would never, ever want to do anything to hurt you. So when I say I love you, please don't take it lightly. Love is one of the greatest driving forces on earth. It means sharing a bond with someone that is so strong that you mean more to each other than anyone else. Many of us have started to take the act of confessing love for granted. That simple word means so much more than it seems. So when you hear the statement, what's love got to do with it? Let's read the answer. It's in 1 Corinthians 13:3. If I give away all I have, and I deliver up my body to be burned, but I have not love, I've gained nothing. We hear that 80s song, so what's love got to do with it? Got to do with it? Everything. God is love, and without God, love is meaningless, and so is life.
It's your completion.
It is. I believe that a human being was designed to be loved and to love each other. And I believe that hurt that has gone through in people's lives is what's blocking people's love. And now fear of being hurt again is what keeps people, the neighbors, from loving their neighbors as yourself.
Well, like I said at the beginning, it's the strongest emotion that people will ever feel, because it trumps being angry at somebody. It trumps all of that.
Yep. There's no laws about love either, or against it.
And love can make you not fear something. Sometimes it just takes a while for that trust to build between two people.
But trust, wouldn't you say trust has to be disassembled before it's assembled? I mean, have you ever trusted anybody right off the cuff before?
I don't know. I feel nowadays people are very untrusting.
No, it's not just nowadays. I'm in my late 50s, and I've been realizing that my entire life.
No, I think humanistically, children are very trusting. Children are very trusting.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, why? Because they've not really ever been hurt.
Correct. But when those hurts happen, that's when we start breaking up love. Well, this is Park Talks. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You guys have a great week.
Hey, don't forget it's Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Make sure you tell somebody Happy Valentine's Day. I've never said this before in Park Talks, but by the way, like, subscribe, share, comment below. This is Park Talks. It's not just us. Have a great week, everybody. Be blessed.